Hi guys, welcome to a quick video which is going to give you an overview of Enhancement Shaman in the current patch, which I think is 6.2, isn't it? Yeah, it's not 6.3. I think it's 6.2. Anyway, yeah, so end patch of Warlords of Draenor. So I'm just going to go over a few of the basics that you'll find useful for PvP. I'm going to go over talents, glyphs, a quick macro and a rough rotation, and I'll be following this up with another video of sort of situational usage of the burst, but this is mostly again about getting the maximum damage out you can and staying alive in intense normally 2v2 3v3 situations. So we'll start with talents. Now obviously this is all personal opinion, people have got different ways, but this is the way I has found is best to run with things. So first tier, level 15, we've got Nature's Guardian, which is attacks that bring your health below 30%, increase your maximum health by 25% for 10 seconds, and reduce your threat toward the attacker. Cannot occur more than once every 30 seconds. Now, compared to the other ones in this tier, I think this is by far the most effective because, firstly, it's a passive, which can be very, very handy, especially if you're getting nuked and trying to get damage out. Because obviously your other options in this tier, Stone Bulwark, Totem, it's 21k shield, then for 10 seconds, and 5,348 for the next 5 seconds. So it's okay, but it's not great. It won't save you, and it's got a minute cooldown. An Astral Shift, it'd be good if you didn't, if you know you're going to take a huge burst, but with a minute and a half cooldown, it's not worth it. So Nature's Guardian all the way here. Next tier, I went for Frozen Power because this is really handy when kiting, when you're being kited by healers or casts and stuff. It's good to keep hunters down as well. Windwalk Totem was another way of doing it, but with a 1 minute cooldown and 40 yards, and once it's got after 6 seconds, it's pretty much useless. So I'm not a big fan of that. And Earth Grub Totem again does similar to Frozen Power, except it's got a 30-second cooldown. So something like any sort of druid or mage can just blink out of it basically. So not really worth it. So again, Frozen Power is best for this tier in my opinion. Next at 45, Totemic Persistence and Totemic Protection, to me completely useless in this situation if you ask me. Call the Elements all the way because you reset your cooldowns on things like your Capacitor Totem, so your stun, your Healing Totem. It's a no-brainer. So it's kind of just a quick reset, brings everything back to start. So that's the best one for that too. Next is 60. Now this is where you've got two possible ones. Now I've seen other people use Elemental Mastery for their burst for the 30% haste buff. Now that does work and it gives a very good burst, but what I don't like about that is then you only end up with one charge on your Stormstrike and Lava Lash, and I find that massively brings down your general DPS. So obviously Echo the Elements for me, having two charges on these, they can keep sort of charging back up one after the other. Seems to be much more effective than Elemental Mastery, which is probably a bigger burst, but once your charges are gone, that's it. So I found that that's a much more comfortable way to play. It's much more consistent, it's much more predictable. So that's the way to go for that, Echo the Elements. Next is a no-brainer for me, Ancestral Guidance. So it's for the next 10 seconds, 20% of your damage and healing, including multi-strikes, is converted to healing on up to 3 nearby injured party or raid members. So basically this is similar to what druids get with Nature's Vigil. So if you're getting nuked, and if you throw out all your DPS cooldowns, but you're also getting nuked as well, you throw this up, and 20% of the damage you do, which will be a lot when you're bursting, will heal you again. So that's a good way to keep yourself alive, especially if you use it with the instant cast procs, which you get from Stormstrike, and use that on your healing surge. That can be very useful. So I'll go more into sort of survival situationally in another video. So next here, 90, there's a few ones here again. Some people use Elemental Blast because of the buff to crits, haste, mastery or multi-strike. I like it, but I prefer using this because you get much more of a burst. So you get basically what it does, it makes your elemental 80% more powerful than normal ones with additional abilities, and that works very nicely with the last talent, which is Liquid Magma. So you throw out this very powerful elemental, then get it to start spewing magma everywhere. That's got a 45-second cooldown as well. That's really nice just for consistent, AoE damage, especially in threes or something. That does lots of damage. So those two together work beautifully. As I said, there is Unleashed Fury as well, but I don't really think, I mean, if you look at it, 30% extra damage on a lightning bolt and multi-strike by 5%, that's not massive compared to 80% more powerful fire elemental. Same with bottoms here again. Liquid Magma goes nicely with that. Storm elemental, I've tried it a few times, it doesn't actually seem to do much damage or healing, and you can't use it from, I don't think, no, you can't use it at the same time as your fire elemental anyway. And elemental fusion, again, not really worth it, because I think back in the day, Earth Shock, which I don't think exists anymore, used to do massive damage, so that would have been good back then, but Flame Shock and Frost Shock don't really do enough damage to make that worthwhile. So Liquid Magma all the way for that. So as I said at the start, this is just how I play it, so obviously if you've got different ideas or comments on the way you play it, then obviously just leave a comment and see if it helps me out. So glyphs. Now there's two that I always keep in normally, which is Feral Spirit, so healing done by Feral Spirit's Spirit Hunt, which is when the wolves heal you by 40%, and that's a big buff because they can heal you a lot, especially when you're under heavy nuke. You've got these wolves which can't be CC'd, just chasing down your prey, keeping you alive. Next one is Lightning Shield, so 10% less damage when triggered, so that's just a passive. I mean, it triggers most of the time when you're being hit, so 10% damage for 6 seconds, that's a nice just overall reduction. And this one is the one I changed, so Flame Shock is the one I keep in just in general, because what I like to do, especially in BGs and sort of various arenas, I'll Flame Shock something, then use Lava Lash to spread it. So say if I'm in a BG and it spreads to like 6 targets, every time it ticks on 6 targets it's hitting me for 45% of its damage dealt, which can end up being quite a lot. And then obviously once it's spread as well, you can just spam firing over as well if you're in a BG, which is good for some damage boosting. But it depends. I mean, if I know I'm going to be under very heavy nuke in a particular arena, I'll use this one, Shamanistic Resolve. So Shamanistic Rage reduces damage taken by an additional 30%, but the cooldown is increased by another 60. So if you're, I don't know, in a 2s game with another DPS against 2 other DPS, and you're going to be target, go for this, because it gives you, another 30% damage reduction, which puts you up to 60% reduction in total. So you pop that, pop your Ancestral Guidance, get your wolves out, blow all your cooldowns, and you basically become a bit of an unstoppable tank, especially when you start spirit walking as well. So you start, you start flying forward as well. So it's very nice for the burst. Minor glyphs, not really important to be honest. I just use Spectral Wolf, but I don't think there's any useful ones to be honest, are there? No, I think these are all. No, they're all aesthetic ones, aren't they? Okay, so that's your talents, that's your glyphs. Gonna have a look at a macro. Now I've seen this macro in a few different places with a few different ways. I've kind of nailed it down to the way I play. So it's a cast sequence, so you can basically put it on one cooldown button. So basically for the first 5 or 6 seconds you spam this, and what this will do, I'll put this in the description as well so you can copy and paste it if you want. But basically what it'll do, if you just keep clicking the one button, which is here, which is on one of my mouse buttons, what it'll do, it'll start casting all these one after the other. So Unleash Elements, Fire Elemental Totem, Liquid Magma, Feral Spirit, Ascendance, and Windstrike. So by clicking that button, six times, I'll have all my cooldowns out and it'll start my rotation. So if you just spam it, I'll just spam it here. If you watch these across here, you'll see the cooldowns come across just from me clicking one button. There you go, get it all going. Flame Shot and start wind striking. Obviously this is the Thunder Bluff dummy, so the damage is massively increased to realistic damage, but I said it's just a rotation that's important. But once you've got all these out, you become such a tank. It's brilliant. The burst damage, you can make people blow defensives within like 2 or 3 seconds. The damage that comes in on it, I was really surprised when I first started trying to play like this, but I'm also very happy. So as I said, I'll put that that macro in the description, obviously for you guys to try and use. So that's the cast sequence macro. After that, you want to try and keep your Flame Shock up as much as you can, Lava Lash and Storm Strike on every cooldown, Lightning Bolt every time it procs, or if you're taking heavy damage, use your procs for a Healing Surge instead, because it can be a lifesaver, just your quick healing surges. Apart from that, obviously you'll see liquid magma will go off cooldown occasionally, but you need a totem out for liquid magma. So searing totem comes out, liquid magma comes out, and you see it just fires these fireballs all over the place, which is really good. So, as I said, it's fairly simple rotation when you get going. It's just getting started, I find, is the trickiest part of it. But as I said, I will be doing another video, perhaps later tonight or tomorrow, which will be going through the usage of this in PvP with some examples. So this was just kind of the first part of going through the talents, glyphs and macros. So yeah, as I said, I don't think there's much more to go through in this video until I start explaining it a little bit more in the next video, as far as PvP usage. So if you'd like to see more of this, please like, comment, share, subscribe, etc. It really helps me out a lot. And obviously, if you have any ideas on different ways this could be done, I'm more than happy to hear how other people are playing, because we can all help each other improve. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will speak to you in the next video. Bye.